Hello everybody, welcome to this playthrough for Master Division. This is a general playthrough where you will find general wins, so you will not have these wins in the tournament. In this playthrough I will talk you through my thought process in terms of how to attack the specific holes that you're playing in the tournament. If you do enjoy the content here on the channel, please do hit the thumbs up button on the video. Also subscribe to the channel and turn on the notifications. For those of you that are looking to improve your Golf Clash game even more, you can now get access to our premium guides via the QR code here on the screen or via the links that is in the description down below. Now, most of you know that we have been doing tournament guides and also tour guides in the past, and we're still doing that to this day. But new thing to the channel is that we are now providing guides for Quick 9. They are the same as Ultimate Tournament text guides that we are attacking, helping players to become better players in Quick 9. We are committing for a certain amount of Quick 9s, we're not doing for every day. But you have the link to that specific Patreon in the description down below as well. Last but not least, we do have the info box on the right hand side for the club distance adjustment, elevation adjustment, also what ball and club type I do suggest you to play with. Have in mind that those are all suggestions, and if you don't want to follow it, then you don't have to do that either. But let's go to hole number 1. So on hole number 1, here you can most likely play in many different ways, but I'm focusing on playing a very safe way to always get ourselves down into wedge range. So I'm playing in between the biggest gap of the trees that are there on the right, using max topspin with all the apocalypse levels clubs, and I'm adjusting max plus 10 P5 with my luminary as I'm using. For those of you playing with Apocalypse level 5, use 2.5 rings of overpower after the adjustment. Those of you using Apocalypse level 6, use 1 ring of overpower after the adjustment. That's going to be with a completely slow needle. Bouncing on the fairway, great right and great left are safe. We're clipping the rough and we're rolling out. And now we're gonna have a wedge that is approximately 50 to 60% slider every single time. On the wedge, on the second shot, it's either to go with the max topspin method or is to go with the no spin method. It's up to you to decide what you want to go with. I'm going with the max topspin method as I do have Endbringer 8, which obviously will allow me to adjust less rings on the second shot. Now, alright, so when we're playing the max topspin version, we're going to play EB School minus 30% P4, and obviously with the true slider. For those of you playing no spin EB School, we do recommend to play plus 25, and the reason we want to recommend to play plus 25 instead of plus 20 is due to the fact that it will be a slight downhill wedge to account for. Obviously you judge yourself what you want to play, but these are my and our suggestion, and obviously P5 numbers with that in mind. So if you do want to get the best guides on the market and crush the Rocky Mountain tournament, scan the QR code on the screen or get the guides on patreon.com/golfclashtommy. For hole number 5 in the Scotland 9-hole Cup, we're gonna send it here if we do have a tailwind. If we do have a headwind or a crosswind, we are going to lay up. But again, I want to display the tailwind because that's the fun wind angle. Aiming way out to the left here, and the reason we're doing that is because we do want to come in with an angle, meaning that we're gonna use a lot of curl to push the ball back in right, because the pin is standing more to the right, and using, in this case, all of the curl is not going to be enough. So we're using a slice here. You can see we land on the fairway. We're then using specific spins to ensure that we are not going too long or too short. But obviously when it is with send it shot, especially hooks and slice, then it's going to be difficult to control the outcome all the time because it is generally inconsistent. The adjustment here on the drive in general is max plus 10. If you are playing a layup on the second shot, you play no elevation and true club distance, and then you're gonna get yourself close, if not in the hole, if you do have to lay up. But hole 5, hopefully we do have some tailwind so we can send it. On the drive here in hole number 1, we are starting to be at P6 max rest, the bullseye by the rough line with our quarterback. Then we are swapping to a pock and thorn bag. Max top spin and 1 left spin, and here you can play with any P6 plus, side spin 2 plus, wind 10 ball. We make the adjustment, which is max plus 20 P0. In this particular wind angle and wind strength, we are not gonna push up or pull back anything, but there will be some pullbacks and some push up depending on what apocalypse level you have and also what wind angle and strength you are then having together with that. Max curl to the left, max overpower with a slower needle. We do look to clip the rough with our second bounce and be somewhere between 358 and 367 yards. On the second shot, we are going to play with our thorn. We are setting max top spin and 1 left spin, so very simple in that way. Bullseye by fringe meets the green, ball guideline going, bullseye aligned with the cup. Then I'm turning the screen around, and the reason I turn the screen around is because it's so much easier for me to see the ball guideline and the aim point. If I wouldn't turn the screen around, I would have the rocks and the cliff there in my way, and then I would have to zoom out quite a bit. So I strongly advise to turn the screen around to have the top of the yellow ring by the rough line, then the ball guideline to go left side of the hole. And the left side of the hole is from tee to pin perspective. If we're turning the screen around, the ball guideline is going to look to obviously be right side of the hole in that instance, but you will see that on the picture. Adjust is going to be 34% slider, no elevation, P0 numbers, and that we do from the plus yardage, +4 and +5. Wind angle tweaks here as well. This was an in-between angle. We were in between the red and the yellow, so we are there doing 3 clicks of left curl. For hole number 3, we have another par 4 here in the Scotland 9-hole cup. Unfortunately, when we do have a headwind, we're going to have to lay up, and that's the same kind of with crosswind as well. We could get around when it comes to crosswind angles to do some sort of a, what will it be, a power hook using topspin boost ball and stuff like that, but generally fairly risky in that. But in tailwind, it's a no-brainer, then we're going to send it. Here, we adjust max +10, and then we're going to apply a specific amount of topspin to get the ball to where we want. We're looking for consistency here with the drive, which is difficult on a bumpy fairway, whereof there will be scenarios where it's maybe even better to lay up even shorter than this. We're looking now to play a long iron to the pin, and we're looking to play a rough bump. Y'all know me when it comes to rough bump. I really love rough bumps, and the reason I do that is due to the fact that after the first bounce, the wind will not have that much of an effect, whereof bouncing on a fairway, it's most definitely going to have a pretty big effect instead. So now I'm looking to have the ball guideline through the hole just slightly. This due to the headwind that we're having, or not slightly, we're having the ball guideline pretty heavily through the hole here. And we are also aiming way left. Why do we aim left? It's because the ball, when it hits the ground, is going to be pushed pretty heavily right. And especially with a headwind that's going to compress the ball guideline, it's going to make the ball go even more right. So therefore, we cannot aim directly at the pin with this type of spin setup. No elevation, and then here we're close to min club, and you can see we bounce into the rough, rolls up onto the green, dropping dead center for a beautiful eagle here on hole number 3 in the Scotland 9-hole cup. Again, tailwind, we're going to send it. Crosswind or headwind, we're going to have to lay up. In crosswind, could be sometimes we could maybe send it with a topspin boost ball, but in general, it's going to be a layup. Take your game to the next level with our ultimate tournament text guides for the Speedrun Champions Tournament. We are doing a guide for expert and master division, full 9 or full 18 of only par 4. So perfect chance to dabble into playing with some short irons, some long irons, and skip those stupid wood clubs, but also a chance to send it, hopefully, if the wind do allow. We are providing free-to-play ball alternatives and paid ball alternatives for both divisions. And I do feel, and I do have a feeling as well, that free-to-play will be a great possibility for this specific tournament, as Part 4's only is definitely opening up for more free-to-play. We do have a standalone package for those interested in free-to-play only for Master called Master Lite. Definitely recommending having a look at that. Last but not least, we are now providing seasonal packaging for Quick9 for individuals but also for clans. Make sure to check that out via the link in the description down below. It is a separate Patreon, as those packaging are separate. But if you already have an account with us on our regular Patreon, you don't have to make a new account. You can just cross over, get yourself a pack, and then you will get access there too. So sign up to our premium guides via the links in the description down below, or by scanning the QR code here on the screen. So on the drive here, we are going to play with a P4 side spin 3 ball. You can play with a Centurion or a Kingslayer as well. The only difference it will be there is that you're going to have to use a little bit of OP on the drive, and most likely a little bit of OP if you are short for the second shot. But P4 side spin 3 plus win 4 is perfect, and there's plenty of those type of balls there. Top of +5, white ring by rough line with a poke 8, obviously overlapping in different way with a poke 5, 6 and 7. Adjust max +10 P4, and we are going to apply no curl whatsoever and try to hit perfect. I've been hitting great right, great left, and they are all safe. Only 2 left spin as well, no top spin, no back spin whatsoever. Goal here is to bounce over the rough and then to roll down the fairway and be somewhere here. It's a very consistent drive, which gets us to around 320 to 325 yards every time. On the second shot, we are going to do a fringe check where the fringe meets the fairway, aligned with the pin. You can see there, +9 it is. And we're gonna play with max top spin and 3 right spin, always with our sniper. Now we're looking to have the edge of the bullseye just before it shows bouncing on the fairway with the ball guideline through the hole. So when it comes to our adjustment here, we are going to play this one 1-1 as a base from +0 fringe check. So in this instance, we're going to play this one 10.8 rings. In this angle, we're not going to do any tweaks whatsoever. We will, however, in another angle do some tweaks, which obviously will be listed into the guide. What we do recommend as well is to go with a small 1159 as well as our pull angle. Bounce into the rough, it rolls up, and this one dropped nicely in practice, which I'm very pleased with. It looks very scary, but it is not as scary if you do just kind of properly. Even if you would be hitting a great ball or a perfect ball with errors, you will still clip the rough. But this is, in my opinion, the absolute best way to attack hole number 5, tough wind on a tough and long par 4. Scan the QR code or go directly to patreon.com/golf-tommy and get our guides. Hole number 5, we are going to send it. We are starting at P10 max rest, where the white ring meets the rough/fairway to the left, and that is for Apocalypse level 8. Apoc 7, 50% white ring on fairway. Apoc 5 and 6 shall have the clearing on the fairway. We make the adjustment, which is max +20 P0, and this is in between the yellow and the blue angle. So I decide here to play the blue push-up, which I do feel that is the right thing to do in that instance. Max top spin and 0.2 bars of left spin. We do want to have curl, which is like 1.9 ball of left curl, which is center line down to the left of the circle wall. Apocalypse level 6 and 7 needs to play, 5 and 6 needs to play topspin boost. Otherwise, we will not get over that rough line. If it happens that you are clipping the rough there, you still have a very short, nice and sweet endbringer to attack the pin for the eagle. And if you're a little bit lucky, you can most definitely get that ball to drop for an hole-in-one. Scan the QR code here on the screen or go directly to patreon.com/golfclashtommy for the ultimate tournament text guides. Hole number 1 is usually a fairly easy start, I would say. Even if we do have a headwind, we generally have a super simple layup, either to long iron or to a short iron. But I think it's more fun when we do get some tailwind, because then we can send it. Either we go right or we go left. I would say that if it is a straight tailwind like this, going left should be better. Why? It's because we then have a look at the hole-in-one. From the right-hand side, it's going to be obviously an hole-in-one on a par 4 is always a lottery, but from the right it's going to be even more. But it could be a way for those of you that do not feel confident adjusting down over a cliff or something like that, that want to take a different type of route. Then this is a nice play in that sense. Max +10, then specific push-up depending on wind angle and wind strength, as normal when it comes to send it in master. And then we're bouncing on the fairway, and then into the rough, rolls up onto the green. And now kind of close to an hole-in-one, but we're settling with an eagle. So in the end, if you have a headwind or a crosswind, we lay up. If we do have a tailwind, then we're gonna send it and hope for the best. On hole number 8, the drive, we start with the rock and a P0 ball. Stretch out to max, white rain to the left by the rough line, max topspin with rock 9 and half a bar of right spin. If you do forget to set the spins with the rock, then you can always set the spins with Apocalypse as well. But the simple thing with the topspin amount is that it is max topspin with the rock using 5 bars. Swap to Apoc and then either B52 level 7 plus, or we're gonna play Grizzly 9. We do hit a perfect ball, which with max overpower and a P6 ball is gonna be semi-shaky. If you do play with a power 8 plus ball, you're gonna have a completely slow needle every single time. On the second shot, we are going to do a top white rain frame check, where the fringe meets the fairway, ball guideline going over the hole. We are doing 1 right spin and a hard 1 back spin. Bullseye by the edge of the rough line, ball guideline through the hole. Once we have done that, we're going to make an adjustment. That's going to be 30% slider, no elevation, P0 numbers, and that is from +4 and +5 shake. For those of you that do play with Grizzly level 9, we do recommend to play with a power 7 plus ball. The reason for that is that you otherwise risk being short of the check if you're using a power 6 ball. Perfect ball it is. It does clip the rough and it rolls down fairway and drops dead center for the eagle. Scan the QR code here on the screen or go directly to patreon.com/golfclashtommy for the ultimate tournament text guides for the Nation Knockout 9-hole Cup. So on the drive here, we're gonna start at the top of +11, this to mimic the P2 max line, and this is a shot that is option number 1 in our guide. We're gonna have one that is free to play as well. Adjust is max +10 P3, and you can see all the top spin, all the boost, and then a little bit of left spin as well. Once I've adjusted, I'm going to go max overpower with a slower needle. With the face-off, the needle will be more or less super slow. With a smash ball, which also is a possibility, then the needle will shake a bit more. With the big top, it will always be a slow needle, but then the wind will be pretty high on the approach. This is a shot where a great left favors a great right. So if you are a great right hitter, I would recommend to use inside wall left curl. So we're going a little bit aggressive in the sense of using the right side instead of laying up on the left side, in my opinion. I've been hitting single great rights with Unpoc 8 and have been just safe. However though, Unpoc 7 and Unpoc 6 and 5 will have less accuracy, and then a great right will most likely not be safe in the sense of staying on the fairway. It will always reach from the rough, but it's up to you to make the call what suits you the best. Unpoc 5 and Unpoc 6 needs a little push up in the end. That is listed in the guide. For the shorter drives, then we're gonna play from landing position, and we're gonna use one right spin and one backspin here as well. Similar structure as for the long drives, half a green square short of pin, and then we're going to use +5 once again as a base, and it's going to be 94% slider, plus 40% elevation, P3 numbers. Here in the video I do play max numbers, and I also missed by the difference of 94 and max, and this is a video just for reference because this one is the best quality that I do have from this range. Couple of things to have in mind: that if you do fall short with a smash ball which only has power 2, then you put yourself at the max line and adapt the backspin so you can have the ball guideline half a green square short of pin, always keeping the one right. On the second shot, we are going to do a rough line check with the B52, and this is for the longer drives, which is the ones that we do prefer. One right and one back always, and then we're going to set the tip of the ball guideline to be half a green square short of pin. Now, in the moment, I forget what plus yardage I had, so I'm moving up once again. And there we see +4 it is once again. So half a green square short of pin, and with the longer drives we do have a base with rough line check at +5, which is 74% slider, plus 40% elevation, P3 numbers, and here I'm deducting 0.1. Center the ball and hit perfect, and this is going to be a good chance. What I would like you to do is that if you do have a wind that will be in the need of pulling more than once over, like pulling more than 10 rings is what I'm trying to say, then still pull once over bullseye, so we do get the accurate numbers. So this is the long drive. Make sure to check out the short drive for reference as well if you happen to not get the rollout on the drive. Get the guide on patreon.com/golfclashtommy. You can also scan the QR code and go directly there. Thank you so much everybody for watching this playthrough for Master Division. This is a playthrough with general wins. These are not the wins that you will have in the tournament. If you're looking to improve your game even more, you can scan the QR code here on the screen or use any of the links that is in the description down below. Now we're providing ultimate tournament text guides, or we have done that in the past, but we are providing ultimate tournament text guides for every tournament that's being hosted. Also our exclusive tour shootout guides. But not just that, we are now providing seasonal packaging for individuals and clans when it comes to Quick 9, where we're doing a specific amount of Quick 9s every single season as of now. Look into that via the links that is in the description down below or via the QR code here on the screen.